Hi guys, in today's video I wanted to make something Care Bears related to celebrate their 40th anniversary. So ideally guys, you want to start by prepping your toppers and everything that's going to stick on the cake because we need it to have some drying time. So I've just got some modelling paste here and I've just used some food colours to mix them a range of pastel colours. Or maybe they're a bit brighter than pastel colours actually. So I've got the number of colours I want. I'm going to put them in a clay extruder. Now you can roll these by hand if you want, if you don't have a clay extruder. It's just a little bit quicker for me to use a clay extruder. You might find if you're rolling it by hand, you can't get it nice and level. So you can use a cake smoother, like what I'm doing here, to just roll it out a little bit. There we go. So we still get the same result. So it's up to you which you prefer to use. So I'm going to do this a few times with lots of different colours. And we're going to create rainbows. So I'm going to wrap it around something rounded. This is just the food colouring tub that I've got here. And I'm going to put a little bit of water on each strip next to where I want it to stick to the next colour. You can use edible glue if you prefer as well. Water usually works fine for me. So you're going to layer it up. And then you're going to cut it to size. Now you want to really work out the height of your cake so that you know how tall you want this to be. So I'm going to have this coming off one cake and going down the edge to hit the cake board. So I've got it shorter at one side, longer at the other. You'll be able to tell more once we put this on the cake later. So watch the video through before you start making yours and then you will see what I mean. You can use your little offcuts. We can make little rainbows to go between the different cakes that we're going to put on this. You can make little heart shapes as well. They can cover up any little mistakes or cracks you've got in your fondant. There we go. We'll use that to cover up some bits that were a little bit untidy. Go for as many of these as you like. So let's have a go at making the sunshine that's in the Care Bears. So we're going to start with a circle and we're just going to push an indentation in of the face. Stick on some little eyebrows. I'm going to pop a little bit of white modelling paste in for the eyes. Now I'm still using modelling paste because I want it to firm up nice and hard, otherwise it's just going to be soft and bend when I put it on the cake. I've just used a yellow pen, an edible pen, in the crack in the mouth and around the eyes, and I've just kind of watered that down a bit with a bit of water on my brush. Got some black edible pen in the eyes for the pupils and some eyelashes. And then we're going to cut some strips of yellow and we're just sticking them just behind the disc, so just behind the circle. I'm trying to make them different lengths. So these are the rays of the sunshine coming out. You'll see I flatten them a little bit at the back where I'm going to stick them on the back of that disc. I am pushing them into a skewer. So I'm going to take some more modelling paste, this time in a pale pink. And I've printed myself off a little template of a Care Bear and we're just going to trace around that on our pink modelling paste. You can use fondant, but it's not going to be quite as firm. So I'm just pressing in the lines, going in nice and deep to create the picture. And then we're going to add some bits extra on for like the nose. So we've got a little ball of white we're going to press on there. Do one for the tummy as well. And you can start cutting around the pieces as well. So where I cut around the tummy, I'm not pressing too hard because I don't want to go all the way through to the board, otherwise it will remove the tummy. I'm just cutting only through the white bit. Add some more white into the middle of the ears. A little pink heart for the nose and some pink eyebrows, and then we're going to make some more pink hearts and put those on the feet and sort of the palms of its paws. I'm going to roll some tiny pieces of the coloured leftover modelling paste that we used earlier on the rainbows, and that's to create the rainbow on its tummy. Just fill in the whites of the eyes. And you can add a bit of shading if you want as well. I'm just using some pink powdered dust. Again, I'll put links to everything I've used below the video, guys. And if you have a look at your image that you've printed off or that you're using off the computer, it just helps you to work out where it looks a little bit darker, where you want to add some shading. Stick on a little bow. I'm just going to go around some bits with a black edible pen just to darken and kind of outline some areas. You can even use like a purple pen if you don't want it to be as dark. And if the line's too harsh, just rub a little bit of water over it with your brush to kind of blend it out a bit. And then we're going to draw around the eyes and the pupils. I maybe went a little bit dark there with the eyeliner. So let that set. They need to set overnight, guys, before we add those to our cake. So we're going to start by layering up our cake, and I've got some buttercream. I've coloured it with some colour mill to like a light purple lilac-y colour. And I think it's a 5-inch cake that I'm doing here, but we're actually going to cover a few different cakes. Now I've coloured a few different colours of buttercream as well for this one. You want to use an oil-based food colour in your buttercream as well, guys, just so it doesn't cause the buttercream to kind of split and go funny. So each time I add a layer, I'm going to add a different colour of buttercream. It's going to get a little bit unstable as we get closer to the top, and we're just going to give it a bit of a scrape round. Put that in the fridge for 10 minutes, let it firm up. We're going to give it an overall coat of buttercream. So I'm going for a pale pink, and what I'll do, guys, is all the products that I'm using in this video, I'll link below the video so you can see what I've used, and then you can see if you've got something similar or if you want to buy the same things. So once it's coated, you're going to go around with a metal tool scraper. You're probably going to find there's some indentations and air bubbles and things, so just fill them in a little bit, or a lot, or you can even give it a second coat and go a bit thicker. There we go, so we're scraping around. So now it's a bit smoother. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some sprinkles. I'm using the Happy Sprinkle mix. I think this is the unicorn one, but I'll double check what it's called and I'll put it below the video. So sometimes I have to kind of throw it from a distance to get it to stick in. I'll put that to one side, and let's do the same with a second cake. So this one I'm going a bit smaller, and I'm just going to use some little pastel strands and then some larger ones there. Now, I'm just leaving those cakes to one side to rest for a minute. I might even do some more cakes as well. And what I wanted to show you was how you put sprinkles in your fondant to decorate the board. So I've just sprinkled some into some pale pink fondant. Now you don't see them overly well at first, but by the time I roll it out to the size of my board, you're going to start seeing these coming through. So I'm having to stretch this a bit because it's quite a large board. Okay, and then I'm going to put a bit of buttercream on top of that where I want to stick my cakes. My small cakes are not very heavy, so they're not pressing down a lot. The bigger one kind of squeezes down quite a bit. So we can now start adding our pieces of rainbow. You might have to add some little blocks of white fondant under them if you found that you measured it wrong and it doesn't quite fit against all your pieces of cake. So I'm going to add a big piece of white fondant just to help hold up the sunshine that's going in there as well. We can add little stars, extra little sprinkles and hearts that we've made. Then we can add our Care Bear in place at the front. And then I'm also just going to add some big sort of chocolate truffles and balls that were covered in fondant. You can see I'm using some large sprinkles as well. These have got chocolate and biscuit and things in the middle. And we want these to almost look like clouds, even though they're just balls. You can make these in polystyrene, you can make them in fondant. And what I might do, guys, is a separate video showing you how to make lots of these different balls for decoration for your cakes. And then you've got a few different ideas for it. So there you go, all done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Here's what it looks like all cut up. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment below. You can see more of my tutorials by clicking on the images on screen now. If you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button to stay up to date with my future tutorials. There are also links in the description box below where you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and more.